We have an information agency, and I'm not happy about it. GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster. You got a little bit of Adrian just getting ready for this day.
Yes,
it is
my pre-show rant.
It's a little pre-show rant. I just dropped like 17 things on her before the show started. GM Farcaster. It is Friday, April 19th, and you are here with Nounish Prof and Adrian for 21 minutes-ish Farcaster news to start your day. I know. I'm going to leave the meme for now and then until we figure out a better tagline that is more accurate. And we have some big news. So we got to start with our big news, which is today's show is presented by Matcha, Matcha.xyz. And we are excited to bring them on board. You see this cute little GM Farcaster times Matcha behind me in my background. And that is an NFT that's going to go out to all of our Hypersub subscribers today. And if you are not one of our Hypersub subscribers and you're in our chat right now, drop your ENS or your wallet and I will make sure you get one as well. So very excited to bring them on board, and we'll have more about that as we go along. Very excited. So yay. So welcome, Matcha. And in other news that's not about us, because, it's not all about us. Ghosts. There were ghosts. There were ghosts yesterday. There was a lot of ghosts. The absolute state of Warpcast right now. This was Cameron talking about the ghosts. And then we had this from Brett Draws Stuff. Everyone's looking great in their new PFPs. And I was like, what is happening? I did not understand what was going on. And apparently we're having issues with images on Warpcast debugging. All right, we're back. So there were some ghosts. And
so what you saw, right, is
we're back. That was, I don't know.
100 years ago. 100 years ago when images were down, that was Sunday. That was like 4 days ago.
Sunday. Way back when. Yeah, there was an API
way back
problem.
when images were down Sunday, Monday. You couldn't upload images. So
Correct.
You'd get a image size too large, and the world.
And now and then
48
yesterday,
hours. And it
some
was just
PFPs
people's profile pictures were looking like a ghost.
Yeah, yesterday people's profile pictures were the ghost is the default image when you don't put a profile picture in, and so usually that is somebody who's brand new, but it was like all random people that Phil was a ghost for me. I was like, wait, what? That was the first one I noticed. And I'm like, that's odd. And then, it went from there. But we're back. We're so back. And also, not so much. But just don't look at charts at the moment or the world politics news. Don't recommend it. Never recommend it. Don't go to Twitter. It's not safe. It's not safe there. But so we're just going to focus on the fun stuff instead, because that's what we do here. It's just much better that way. I liked this. It's totally down. Farcaster? No, all of crypto. Oh, thank God. That's how I feel most days. I'm like, oh, okay. As long as Farcaster's fine, it'll all be good. We'll get there. In other news, this is from DWR, if you are or know staff engineers or designers with experience building at scale, reach out. Warpcast is hiring for new roles. Looking for staff level folks in design, front end, back end, ML, and distributed systems. See the next cast for more details. So if you have an interest in this, it seems like a great opportunity to jump into the team because they're building. So it's so get in there. Okay, and then new on Warpcast, priority ordering of replies on cast pages. If you have not seen this, did we talk about this the other day? I don't think we did.
No.
We did not do this. We're now sorting replies by relevance to the original cast author. If the author replies to the reply, if the author likes the reply, if the author follows the user replying, replies from users with the power badge, and then everything else. So that is what you're seeing in replies. I think I know there's been some discussion about giving replies a bump again, and I don't know if we'll see that soon, but I hope so. It might be time for that, but we'll see. Then we have
the Quotecast. The Quotecast,
a little bit
just fraction. The Quotecast ruined Farcaster forever.
Are you still going to go to that? You're still going to that?
I'm harping on it, but
oh my God. So for those who are new here,
there was once upon
a time, there was no Quotecast, but there just wasn't a button for it. So you had to actually copy the link to the cast and then cast it. And Adrian was strongly in the camp of no quote casting or quote tweeting, if you will, back in the day. So you still think that's the problem?
I bought into the quote casting creates toxicity and fighting and centers conversations around yourself.
And dunking.
Right? And I like, I miss wholesome Farcaster, even though Vitalik told us we were too nice. But that was also on April 2nd, so it could have been April 1st last year, and I still think that was an April Fool's. So old Farcaster lore. I don't know if Lynx is joking in the chat right now, but
I'm not sure either, but I'm scared.
Now I have to quote cast everything to get any kind of engagement. And even if it's a joke, all jokes are somewhat rooted in truth, and that's a sad thing. So
it is sad if it's true. But I don't think that's true. I get engagement on regular casts.
But I notice people quote casting things like it's like if you want to take it in a completely different direction, a conversation like quote cast, and it kind of refers. But people are just replying via quote cast. Just reply, people. But you don't get the reply bumps. We used to get reply bumps, so if that went away, now you need to kind of center.
You need to quote cast to get the little bump, I guess, is the deal.
I'm cranky today. I don't know. You're getting cranky.
You're cranky. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day. Buckle up, people.
Sorry.
Can I talk about some happier news?
Yeah, please.
Some happy news. Okay, FarCon Talks is going to be the place for announcements. So you've all been asking for this. We finally have it. Here is the FarCon calendar of all events, courtesy of Events.xyz and Matthew. Scroll through the events and RSVP one by one in frame, or click out to view all of them in a single page and RSVP there. And more summit details soon. And just a reminder, we will be chatting with both FarCon teams, the one from last year and the one from this year, next week. Tuesday with Cameron and Grin, and then Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, with the current FarCon team, who is mostly on the West Coast. So really excited. And another note about our event on Friday, we bumped it up to 9:30 a.m. because some people were whining about early start. So, but also because the evening events the night before got pushed to 2 a.m. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised if Adrian starts walking around, Far Concert at midnight telling everybody to go to bed.
Well, if we're an hour later, I'll do 1 a.m. I'll allow 1 a.m.
Great. That's awesome. Thanks for that, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and I can't wait. I had a chat with Ted yesterday about sort of our plans and making sure things were dialed in, and I'm really excited. Can't wait. And got to see a little bit of virtual tour of the space, and this is going to be amazing. So 2 weeks from today is our 100th episode, people. 2 weeks. I have a lot of stress. I have a lot of feelings. What are we at now? 90.
We're at 91.
92. 92.
Yeah, we got to get a few more. Got to jam a few more episodes in.
That's why we've got 5 episodes next week. So there you go.
We could have just made that episode 96 or 95.
We could have. I didn't want to. I am very big on, I want things to make sense. I don't know. It seemed important. I wanted it to be important. This from Yasik, the Deploy on DGen Week. The submission form for Deploy on DGen Week is ready. Make sure to submit your project using the form before the deadline, which is this Sunday. finalists will receive their share of 10 million DGen in prizes. So make sure if you are participating, that you get your submissions in. And I've heard there's a few friends who are doing this. So this is pretty exciting. This is really fun. Are you playing this? I'm going to say that you're probably not. Have you even seen this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not playing it.
Okay. So this is
and
a
I
game.
won't answer if I've seen it or not. Stop accusing me. Maybe I've seen it, maybe I haven't. Okay. What is it?
This is from People Pleaser, and it is a frame game. So what you had to do was mint in the frame, and then you could see which the pieces changed a little bit, and they have hints to a puzzle. And what it's revealing is a seed phrase. So if you minted, you can show which ones you collected, and you can also see the ones by your followers. So it's pretty cool. And you can then put this together like a puzzle to reveal, like, see how you see this little, it's actually a B right there written in. You don't see it when you go back to the main picture. So it's kind of hidden unless you mint, and then it reveals, and it's really cool. So today there's going to be a little animation that's going to come out, and it's going to have the remaining clues. And you put it together, and then if you unlock the seed phrase, you get the prize. So it's kind of fun, and it's a really creative use of frames. It's really fascinating. So great job, People Pleaser. This is a lot of fun.
That is super cool.
I may or may not be.
Are you playing
in a cabal? I may or may not be in a group chat with people that are helping each other. I'm not allowed to reveal. Just kidding. Yeah, I am playing, but I'm playing I'm playing with the amount of time that I have to play. Let me put it that way. So there are people playing much harder than I, and I wish them, they're doing amazing. Like it's really cool to see, but it is fun to put the puzzles together. Yeah, People Pleaser I'm really excited that they are now here on Farcaster and really diving in and doing some really cool things. And so it's been really fun. So today we'll find out who wins. More fun things. By the way, there's been a whole bunch of fun little things that I'm not even going to get to, of games and things that people are dropping in frames that are amazing right now. And I need more time to just play. So I'm hoping this weekend I can do that and then talk about some of those on Monday. Then we have this. This is GiveBot. GiveBot is live on Farcaster. Time to party. Kick off a give.party. Celebrate awesome people and their skills. Repeat. Cast give.party. A custom frame will appear with that anyone can use to name people who are awesome at that skill. By the way, thank you for everyone who's named me in different things, because I'm getting all kinds of notifications, and I appreciate you very much. That is very sweet. For example, this one from Humpty, who is great at on-chain media on Farcaster. So, should you want to go fill that in, we won't be upset about it. And you just put the username in and then hit send give. And there you go. I already added yours, so I'm not going to do it again. If you're not familiar with Give, a lot of people may not be familiar with this. Give is the token that Coordinape uses. And Coordinape is this very cool platform where you can, if you're in a project with people, you can have a pool of funds and distribute it based on what you think they gave to your project or whatever it is you're using, whatever you're doing. It can be used for, even think of this like the future of work, where you're rewarding your coworkers. So for example, the Noun Square used to use that. We disperse based on what people did during that particular time period. We did this at Nouncil one time where we had a pool of 100 ETH, and that's how we distributed it, was just by giving this give token first, and that ended up equaling a percentage of the ETH that was available. So it's a really cool thing. So this particular give token, I don't think has any liquidity to it, but it's a nice way to recognize people who are doing cool things. And it also gave me a little bit of a LinkedIn vibe, where you're recognizing people's skills in certain things, if you know what I'm talking about. Like if you go on LinkedIn, which I never do, and I'm seriously considering getting rid of my profile because it's just, I never touch it. But you can attest to people's skills in certain areas. this is what it felt like to me, was a little bit of that plus, but on crypto rails. So kind of cool. And you can go create your own thing. Like you can be like, I want to recognize people who, I don't know, are great chatters. I was thinking about that. I might go do that and recognize some of our chat and give them some give token. Kind of fun.
Very cool.
Have you seen this yet?
Working on I haven't seen this until just in the past day or two.
Yeah, it just popped up. New. It's brand new, super new.
Links is saying Bankless DAO uses Coordinape as well a lot. A lot of people working on attestations and on-chain reputation and verifiable skills, and a lot of crossover. Even apps like Bountycaster, which kind of integrating. Did they just integrate with Icebreaker? Is that what I saw? Who integrated with Icebreaker recently? I don't know, but everything's gonna.
I saw somebody. Yeah, I saw somebody doing. I can't remember if it was them.
So
yeah, very cool. I think attestations
a lot of things happening in this space.
I think attestations are just going to grow more and more, and especially like after our conversation with July the other day and talking about that type of attestation where it's more of a notarization. I think that's really interesting. There's so many interesting things that we haven't even touched the surface of. And in memes, I love this meme. We both love this meme from Johnny. This is from Nonlinear. Me, a normal conversation. Have you heard about Farcaster and the bowling ball? Just going right down to the normal conversation. And that may or may not be me on a regular basis, especially
how often.
I'm in this.
How often is this happening for you?
Not as often as you think. It happens, but I think what happens more is that I hold back. I hold the ball.
I was like, are you just not finding yourself in normal conversations anymore?
That could be it as well. What is a normal conversation?
I have no discipline.
I
can't
really
do it.
I don't try to onboard people who aren't already to Farcaster who aren't in crypto yet. Because I've tried that and it didn't, it went, but it didn't go well. You know what I mean? They're not QDAOing, you know what I mean? So, I'm sure it will come more and more, but for now I'm kind of able to bite my tongue a little bit, except when I'm talking to people who are in crypto, then it's immediately, I end up there immediately. So it's not even a second thought. So normal conversation, I guess, is subject to interpretation. I don't know what a normal conversation is anymore. And then I love this one as well. And this was me literally last night. So Canna, who can relate? Are you going to sleep? The brain talking to you. Yes, need to wake up early. Check Warpcast one last time. And then wide awake. And may not have been me at that exact moment when I saw this. So thought that was pretty funny. I do want to talk about one other thing. And that is this from Ben Roy. Who posted this both on Warpcast and Twitter at the same time. I'm just going to mention that. And if I had to call out what I think the main risk for Farcaster is, like something that might lead to its failure, I'd say from a position of love, it's the team's overfocus on development and lack of focus on product marketing. Developers tend to overweight the importance of engineering and technology and underweight the importance of storytelling. And then this goes on to talk about that he believes that they should hire a CMO and I think an ecosystem person. I don't even know exactly what that means. I didn't know that's a job. So then there was some discussion. There was some discussion from Dan. So if you saw some of these are a little bit of what we might call a subtweet in other in another space. The Farcaster secret master plan goal.
Who's subcasting who? Was Dan's after Ben?
Dan, yes. Dan's was after Ben, and he did reply to Ben also directly with some really good questions, and there were some other folks who also replied in there.
Secret master plan.
The Farcaster secret master plan goal: get to 1 billion DAO for protocol. Grow DAO by 100x, single-digit millions, likely through Warpcast. More developers get interested in building new social apps. 3, new apps attract users, virtuous cycle. 4, win crypto first. then other categories, likely through channels. And then related to that was this: the primary reason most people use social products and stick around is their friends are using it. This is why invites and contact upload are core UX to any successful social network. The secondary reason is there is entertaining or interesting content. This is why algorithmic feeds have won. Nothing else matters. And then one more, Facebook go to market. And I thought this was a really interesting example. Harvard, then Ivy League, college students, 2 years at this level, 2 years. Then open to everyone, focus on winning country by country. People forget that MySpace was way bigger. Facebook was a social network for college students, worked out for growing retained DAO. Okay. So, Ben, come on in here for a second. Let's chat. I highly disagreed with this take. And you may not, but I definitely disagreed with this take. I don't think that what would end up happening is that Dan would end up having to manage somebody doing all these things. And it wouldn't be the best use of time, because we've seen with this sudden growth that just popped up in the beginning of this year from both DGen and Frames, that the infrastructure wasn't ready for it. Right. So that's why we've had downtime. That's why we had ghosts yesterday. That's, so if you build that too fast, if you suddenly are just bringing people on like crazy, it's not necessarily going to lead to continuous usage, because people get frustrated when things are down, when things aren't working right, when, their profile picture turns into a ghost. All these things are going to frustrate the new user, especially those of us who've been here for a while. We're not going anywhere. We live here now. All our friends are here.
Literally live here.
We literally live here now. So we're not going anywhere, but the new folks are going to get frustrated easily and disappear.
And
so
what's your expectation when you come? Like your
Exactly.
expectation, if you hear kind of from the hype machine, Farcasters, the be all end all to social networking, you expect maturity, you expect it to be at par with every other consumer social app out there. And the minute something happens that you're unhappy with, you bail.
Exactly. So if it's not technically sound and ready and the foundation isn't built solid, it doesn't matter how many people you bring on. It just doesn't. So I think they're still in that early phase. And I really loved that Facebook example. I think that really shows, it takes time. And this is a social network, not social media. Different. So yeah, I was a little, I disagree. And also, okay, so this might be a little bit of my bias as well. There was a discussion about there's no storytelling going on. And I'm like, we are telling stories every freaking day. And there's plenty of us doing that. So it's just happening in a decentralized manner. And also, Dan does it really well. He's out there on podcasts. He's talking to people all the time. He's communicating all over the place. So I think he's playing that role. And I think he's playing it very well as there's an army of missionaries doing it also. And I think for now, that makes the most sense, rather than having somebody that you then have to manage to do this and grow this to what, when you're not even ready for it. So just my take.
Yeah, I agree. And he's building, you're building Farcaster, the protocol, at the same time you're bringing Warpcast, the commercial app. Exactly. If you were only doing kind of the Warpcast,
just Warpcast,
maybe there's an argument for marketing or doing it slightly different. But trying to build a protocol, and I'm going to plug the Genius idea again, which is very kind of loosely decentralized people who share a common vision and values. It doesn't need to come from the Warpcast team.
Exactly.
And you and I kind of have talked about, like, we have such ownership over Farcaster.
Yeah. We feel like we're part of that team, even though we're not part of that team at all. And so do many, many, many people. Anyone who's building something on Farcaster, whether it is, Nanar or Airstack or Hypersub or any of these things that touch this, feel like they own a piece, right? They feel like they're a part of the team. And then also those of us who are doing media, whether that's, Kristen and Artlu or Ted and Nonlinear, with many such cases, you feel like you get that piece of ownership as well to be able to share your experience in a way that's not managed and like brand managed as well. So we can be critical or we can be, rah-rah as well. So we have that freedom, and it's, I think, important at this point. So yeah, I'm reading through the chat, and there's a lot of great discussion points here about focusing on the improved tech in infra first. That attracts new users organically. I think that's the other thing. You could grow DAO very quickly. No problem. We've seen it happen, right? We've seen these big giant bumps. It doesn't mean you're getting QDAO. Doesn't mean it's quality. It doesn't mean people who are going to be back every day. It doesn't mean it's going to be who are contributing every day. Let me rephrase that. They might be back, but they may not be, contributing to it. So I don't know. I think they're doing just fine. But I think some people just want them to move faster. Faster is not always the best.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And in related news.
It's a marathon, people. Oh my God. I'm seeing a preview of what we're ending on.
And in related news, so wait a minute. Let me go to the other one first, just so they get the related part. So where we're talking about Facebook and the way in which they scaled. In related news from Keckers, I am sickened by how hot I find bearded Zuckerberg. I disgust myself. So this is the big news everywhere on every social platform at the moment, is that this is apparently a filter that is on him, and he looks completely different. And apparently the chain is having its own moment as well. The Zuck chain it literally is trending on Twitter. Like Zuckerberg
Zuck
chain or something the
God.
Zuck chain was trending. Yeah. So pretty funny. And I too, and Keckers, I'm right there with you. I find that quite disturbing that he is so attractive with that beard. It was a little off-putting. I was like, if I was his wife, I'd be like, you're gonna grow that beard. But then I'd be like, or maybe not. Maybe not. So
No comment. And
sometimes we just say things. All right. And with that, we're going to wish you all a happy Friday. And thank you again to Matcha. We're so excited to have you on board. If you're one of our Hypersub subscribers, you're going to get a little NFT and a little bonus airdrop today. And we're excited to have them on board and to be chatting more about what they're up to. And have an amazing Friday, everyone. We will see you Monday. We've got a big week next week. We are on every single day next week, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, except for Thursday. We'll be at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. We've got both Farcon teams on and our regular show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we are super excited, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.